Hello. Hello, friends. I am coming to you from my new fancy dancy camera that my lovely husband got me for my birthday because I like to make videos for you guys, and some of you like to watch them. So I'm going to try and do a quick update, which means this will probably be a 10-minute video because Holly's quick videos usually quickly turn into not quick videos. I have a bullet list that has some notes. We'll see how this goes. So first of all, I am going to update you guys on what's been going on because it is very difficult to update everybody, and I thought, Holly, you haven't done a video in a while, and I have on makeup today, which I haven't had on in a while, so maybe now is the time to do that video. So, in case you have missed it, you may have noticed I have been going to Little Rock quite a bit. The purpose of those trips has been to go down and do consults with two doctors, two surgeons. One surgeon is responsible for removing all the breast tissue whenever I have my double bilateral mastectomies, and her name is, I'm going to do this. I always forget if it's Susan or Suzanne. I think it's Suzanne Klimberg in Little Rock. And she's an excellent surgeon who's pioneering some new ways of doing skin sparing when you do the breast removal. I love her way of explaining it was, you hunters will appreciate this, was like a stuffed deer on the wall. It looks like a deer, you know, and to you it feels like a deer to someone else, but for the deer, of course, it's not really a deer. She told this little description twice, once to me and then once whenever Courtney came with me, and I was like, she must use that a lot. That's her line. Well, you know, the deer line. Anyway, so they try to maintain as much skin as possible because they say aesthetically it looks better. Anyway, the other surgeon was Dr. James Ewan. He's also within UAMS down in Little Rock. He was really excellent. I liked him a lot. And he brought up some concerns, which Klimberg had also mentioned, because I've got a couple of things stacking against me. I am a little overweight. I shouldn't really minimize that. I'm overweight. I've put on like 20 pounds since this chemo stuff has happened, so, you know, not fun. Then I'm also type 1 diabetic, and I have had chemo. And chemo damages like your body, and so you just don't heal as well. So that raises my percentage of chance for infection. He wanted me to consider doing a delayed surgery, which means you go in and the breast surgeon will remove all the breast tissue, do the mastectomy, and then you wait 6 months, you know, and you let all the skin get healthy again, and then you go in and the reconstruction doctor will do the actual reconstruction surgery. So there are pros and cons to immediate versus delayed. Immediate being they go in and both surgeons are there. The first surgeon goes in and will remove your breast tissue, leave the skin if they can, and prep the area for the second doctor to then step in and start building me new breasts. So what they'll do is put a tissue expander inside the skin that they are able to spare or save. And the tissue expander is just kind of like a regular implant, except for there's saline in it and there's a little port, and they'll come into the port with a syringe and inject inject saline in there little by little by little until we build my breast tissue. That way it expands your skin slowly if you need to expand your skin until you get to the desired size that you want. I'm hoping to go smaller. Anyway, so everything sounds great. I specifically want to meet with Dr. Klimberg because she has some great techniques that she's kind of developed. This is her thing she's done with lymph node mapping, as well as when you go in and say you remove the breast. Well, there are lymph nodes that are here in your armpits, in case you didn't know, right? And your breast empties, the lymphatic system empties into your armpit, and your arm also empties into your armpit. And I had 2 suspicious nodes, okay? They looked good on ultrasound, but that doesn't tell us a whole lot. So what will happen is, after I'm all done with chemo, we're going to go in and probably biopsy this. You can biopsy it before surgery, or you can do it in your surgery. They will pull a node out and actually send it to pathology right then, or do a slide prep. I forget exactly what it's called, where they look for cancer right then, and they'll know whether or not they want to go ahead and remove that node or the rest of the nodes. The node that they always check is called the sentinel node. You think of a sentinel, you know. And that node, if it has cancer in it, then it means the cancer's already gotten, it's the first node coming from the breast, right? So if it has cancer, it means cancer's at least gotten to that point. It's likely it's reached the others. So it's kind of like you test it and then go from there. And anyway, if we have to remove those nodes, and she removes them, she repairs she puts like the lymphatic veins, the vessels, back to each other so that there's better flow. So where we might have a normally 4 or 5% chance of getting lymphedema, which you'll have to Google that because I'm not going to explain it, but it's no fun. And some of you are familiar. You get swelling in your arm. She reduces it down to less than 1%. I like those numbers, which is why if I have to have nodes removed, I really like her for that. She also specializes in the skin sparing, nipple sparing. I'm not worried about saving my nipples. Bye-bye, ladies. You know, you served me well, thanks, but I don't need them. So the other doctors that I'm considering are in Fayetteville. They're local. They're Dr. Cross and Dr. Atwood. Cross being the surgeon, the other one being the reconstruction surgeon. So Cross does the option for the biopsy for the node. He will actually remove it beforehand and test it in a whole separate, like, excisional biopsy. Remove the node, send it off to pathology before you, not in surgery. I mean, sorry, not in your mastectomy surgery, in a surgery of its own. And that way it's a more thorough biopsy versus, my impression is, the one they do in if you were going in for the whole shebang, is more of a kind of grab and go, kind of. Dr. Klimberg seems completely comfortable doing this method. I kind of like the thoroughness of doing it before. Cross also said the benefits of pulling that node beforehand means that we can look and see how I handle the more minor surgery of just removing that one node for biopsy. How does my body handle it? How do I heal? Are we doing okay? That kind of a thing. Cross is also supposed to be excellent. People rave locally about his care, his post-operative care, as well as his finesse in the OR. So there's many great things that can be said about him. I know that he does some node mapping. I need to do a follow-up with him because it's already been over a month since I spoke to him, and I've already forgotten some of what he told me when we went in. It's really important, I'm finding, to make sure that you're meeting with your doctors as much as you want to get all of your questions answered. Then the other doctor, Dr. Atwood, of course, most of you are probably familiar with him, but I've heard excellent things about him. And he's done more surgeries, I think, than anybody else in this area. And he's also just excellent. And I'm going to consult with him on Thursday, and then hopefully I will know which team I want to use to do my surgery. I'm really excited about talking with him, and I may meet with Cross one more time to get some follow-up questions answered and then make my decision. I'm worried about the travel, especially if there are complications with having a surgery in Little Rock, but you know, it might be worth it. So we'll see. I will know more soon, and I can update you guys. The next thing I wanted to talk about was that I have had more issues. You may have noticed I've been a little bit less frequently on Facebook. I'm on there a lot, but usually it's a coping mechanism, because I have had a hard time this last treatment. Last two, maybe two, I think really the last one, between the hospital stay and some infections, and then using the new medicine, the Neulasta. There are two medicines, Neulasta and Neupogen, both of which are injections you take that make your bone marrow produce more white blood cells, and my white blood cell counts are always low within like 6 to 10 days post chemo. And when it dips down like that, you're at a risk for infection. You don't have to do these injections, but your body will most likely still increase and build those white blood cells back up, but it takes a while and you're at a higher risk for infection. And so the preference there is to go ahead and do these injections. So Neupogen, you wait until your counts are low, until you have symptoms of low white blood cells, and then you go in and you get an injection once a day for 3 days. Neulasta you take, it's time released, or not released because it's not a pill, but as in it's supposed to go into your system and kind of stay dormant and then kick in about 6 days post injection. So both of them cause pretty horrible bone pain. I should say it's hideous, like heinous. It's horrid bone pain. Luckily, it can be somewhat suppressed by taking Claritin, or I've been told Zyrtec. So I will not be using the Neulasta again. We tried it this time and it caused me to have fevers and all over body pain. I felt as if I had the flu or something. It was miserable. I will not be doing that again. I am going to do the Neupogen. I will go back in and I will wait and go back in and go 3 days in a row versus how I felt after that. I am hoping that the Neupogen the Neulasta explains the symptoms and it was not a new thing of that's how Holly is after chemo. So cross your fingers for me that if we skip the Neulasta, this next treatment, which is Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, 5/6, April 30th, gonna meet with Atwood in the morning and then go in after that consult and go and have my 5/6 treatments. So I'm excited, trepidatious and excited. I am having some memory issues, so again, I would like to beseech you to make sure that you reach out to me and help me to remember things if I have made commitments with you, or if we've talked about doing something that's already hard enough for me anyway, and I'm really struggling with staying on task. So I will not ever consider you a bother, or that's not true. If I consider you to be a bother, I will assertively and nicely ask you to give me some space. So if I don't want to do something or you're bugging me, I'll let you know. I would prefer you to contact me too much than not enough. I'd rather feel overloved than underloved. So you guys have my permission to absolutely bug me about getting back to you, and I would appreciate that. So there's that. What's next? Tomorrow, I have the second part of my tooth repair, which is going to be the filling on the tooth that had the root canal. And I wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who's donated, because my phone is ringing. Okay. So I wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who's donated, because your help has been beyond what I ever thought. I mean, I really thought, oh, we won't need that much help, and then you do. But I was already blown away by the GoFundMe, and then some friends, some ladies who I've not even met, like in real life, IRL people, have, they put together an auction for me, and that auction has raised right around $1,000. This is just from some local and some other women who I have never met in real life, deciding that they wanted to give of themselves, of their either by service or by a product that they make or something that they own that they wanted to give as an item at auction. They donated that, and between these, I mean, few women just coming together and saying, here, put this up for auction. That's $1,000. That's gonna help me be able to go in and pay for the next thing that I have to do to this tooth, because it's requiring 3 visits. So it's gonna pretty much pay for my crown on my tooth, and that just completely wipes that. I mean, it's $1,000, and it's just like, oh well, I don't have to try and figure out where that's coming from for that tooth. It's huge help, and saying it's appreciated sounds completely lame, and I just have to say it though, because if I don't say it, I mean, it's true. It's so appreciated, and seeing people give of themselves, of their time, and out of their pocket, it's just, I just stop talking about it. I'm going to start crying again. It is amazing, and I love you guys, and really appreciate it. I keep on like, what's the word that you use? I'm so thankful. Elizabeth is upstairs, struggling to go to sleep at this moment with her daddy, and I'm doing this. So if you hear a fussing toddler, that's what that is. I also wanted to go back a step while I'm doing this and thank Uptown Eyes. I thanked them on a post that I shared with my diagnosis story, but I'm not sure that very many of you saw it, and I really wanted to thank them because they not only raised awareness about breast cancer on their blog and their Facebook page, but they also promoted my GoFundMe. And then after they did all that, they then have offered my family eye care, and which is wonderful because my insurance does not provide eye care, and your vision can change while you're under treatment, and I've had an issue already. You can get dehydrated and different things, and my eye became so dry, and then something scratched it, something happened, and I had an area where there was not really an abrasion, but it was damaged slightly, and it was affecting, I couldn't see, I had a blur in my eye, and I mean, I called and they got me in and were able to say, hey, your eye's okay, like, because that's very scary, because I'm already diabetic, and you have to really watch your eyes for damage, for different things, and so that concern got to be just immediately removed. I got to go in the same day with less than an hour, and Megan looked at me and said, you're gonna be okay, here's some stuff. And then my husband got 2 fabulous, handsome pairs of glasses, and those ladies, from the receptionist to the lady who fits you for your glasses, and I feel horrible, I know it's Alexi, and I can't remember the other woman's name, they are so phenomenal. Their customer service really is amazing, and they're not just treating us like that, they would treat all of you that would walk in their doors that way, and I wished I could go there all the time. They don't take my insurance, which is sad, because they're that good, and I've gone to 3 different eye doctors in this area, and I've never, gone and be like, maybe I'd like to go in and just get a new pair of glasses because I'd like to see those ladies up there. That's how it is. Anyway, so thank you very much. Holly and Megan, both of you, and Uptown Eyes, I just, may not be a big deal to you, but it certainly is to us. So we love you. And, okay, so, back on track to what's coming up next. I mentioned the tooth that's happening tomorrow, and then Thursday is my next to last chemo treatment, so that's awesome. I need to tell you that if I continue to have a rough time after chemo, if it's progressively getting worse, which it might be. I've heard that kind of can happen where you start out and it's not so bad and you're doing pretty good, and then you kind of start having some rough stuff, and then it gets worse and worse to the end. And luckily only 2 left, so like I can do this, but it is a little daunting. So I may need a little help. I may not, but I'm just going to put that out there. I'm doing better at telling you specifically how I need help. Mainly it's just someone to come by and hang out with me a little bit, or maybe sit on the couch and help me fold some clothes or unload the dishwasher, because I can do most stuff, but those week to 2 weeks, if it goes like last time, the week to 2 weeks post chemo were pretty crummy this time. And I might have a lot of energy for a few hours or even all day, but then there are days where this little brown recliner and I are best buds, and I just can't do a lot. So I will be better at asking, and you guys feel free to do whatever it is you feel led to do. So I'm open to it. The good news is that I have a friend who is the director at Ozark Kids, which is the new Montessori school in Springdale. It's located inside the Jones Center. And I had contacted them, golly, I think maybe I contacted them before diagnosis, but then I didn't get back to the email and didn't respond, and didn't realize that Carly was the one who was the director, because I didn't see her name, or she was out of town, I can't remember. She then saw my need when I expressed that I needed help, and I was really anxious about my upcoming surgeries and how to provide care for Elizabeth. She stepped up and spoke to her director, and they were able to get us a partial scholarship so that we could send Elizabeth to Ozark Kids for the next 4 months. So it will cover this, the next 2 treatments, and then some of the time following my surgery as well. And it's amazing. It means she can go to school every day until about 3:30. So that's a huge help. And I'm a little nervous about it because Elizabeth hasn't been away from me that much, but I'm finding that the time between 8 a.m. and 3:30 kind of flies by. So I think we're going to be all right. And at least in this time period, that's something that we need help with. And I gladly accept it and thank her for making that offer. I honestly was at a spot where I thought, I don't know what we're going to do. And she just kind of came in and went, whoosh, sprinkle magic, take care of that, dust on it, and made that fear go away. So thank you to Ozark Kids and to Carly. I mean, you know that you parents know that even just childcare on a day-to-day basis is a huge struggle that I know many of you finding within your price range, as well as something you have to be willing to send your kids to. I can't believe it. I've been providing childcare all my life, and this struggle to have your kids somewhere that you trust is huge. I just can't even believe it. So Ozark Kids seems to be wonderful so far. Elizabeth has gone about 3 days or so, and she likes it, and I like it, and I'm very excited about her continuing to go, and we're trying to figure out a way for her to continue going. So I think we might be able to do it. after all this is over. We'll see. So again, thank you, Carly. And I feel like I sound like an advertisement for these people, but I just feel like you should be thanked because what you did is a big deal. So thank you. I was going to, I think, last talk about the fact that I'm getting really nervous about my surgeries because the closer we get to end of July, early August is what we're looking at, folks. My last chemo is May 21st unless we have complications, so knock on wood for that. And then you have to wait 4 to 6 weeks after you end your treatment, and then you'll begin, 4 to 6 weeks after treatment, and then you are considered to be healed enough to be able to do surgery. Plus, you don't want to wait too long. You don't want to risk cancer coming back, all that kind of thing, all those kinds of things. So we're looking at probably about 6 weeks out. I'm gonna try and let it go 6-8 weeks maybe, because I would like to have a little extra time to heal. There are already complications of the whole being diabetic thing. So late July, early August is when I will be having the surgery, and I just know if it goes as quickly as this chemo has gone, for me, this chemo has gone way fast, cannot believe it, that it's going to be here just in no time, and then I'm just nervous. I'm nervous about all of it. The surgery is, from what I hear, really painful. And I can handle pain. I've handled a lot of different pain in my life. Luckily, maybe that makes it worse because I know what to expect because I've had horrible pain in the past. I don't know. I had 4 surgeries on my butt over the course of a year, so like I feel that I should be able to handle this. I know that it's very painful, but I'm hoping you can't just sit and worry about it, and I'm trying not to, but it is very difficult to not worry about the outcome. I spoke with another survivor today whose name is Valerie, and she has had 12 surgeries. 12. And if you look at YouTube, which I did just one night, and not very much, but I did, you just, oh my gosh, it's terrifying to look at, the reconstruction gone wrong, and people have infections and recurrent infections, and if you have, luckily, hopefully, I'm not having to have any radiation done, but if you have radiated your skin, it does not want to heal, and it does not have good blood flow in it, and a lot of women just, their tissue cannot handle the reconstruction, the stress that puts on your body, and I've got the downside of being diabetic, which now I'm younger and I'm pretty healthy even though I'm heavier, so my blood flow and the fact that I have excellent control of my blood sugars really is in the pro side of things, meaning, but it's good, but when you're diabetic and you have stress added into your life, your blood sugars tend to go up. And then sugar in your blood is just lovely feeding ground for bacteria. Anything's in there, and it's just you're gonna pop an infection. So I will have to be, I'm guessing I'm gonna get with the fabulous Dr. Moss, and we're gonna make a really aggressive plan for post-op, and try and keep my blood sugars super strict, because that will minimize my chance for infection. So luckily, I'm already kind of up on all that. I already have my continual blood glucose monitor, which I can wear, and it is on me all the time. I forget that, not everyone knows what this stuff is. The CGM, continual blood glucose monitor. That's not CGM. Continual blood glucose monitor. Well, anyway. Goes into your skin, and it sits in your interstitial fluid, and then it sends to a receiver, and it just tick, 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 takes a reading of your blood sugar all the time. So I still check my blood sugar, I still calibrate it, you know, make sure that they're matching up, but I have a reading all the time. I can just pick up this little thing, and that you've probably seen me have it, and it'll say 117, 145, and then it has a graph you can track, and it will go and show, you know, where you are, if you're in your target range or not. So between that and my insulin pump, I think, really be able to stay on top of the blood sugars. Anyway, so anxiety is no fun, but I think I'm handling it, and I think the closer we get, the more nervous I might get. I think I'm ready to make some decisions with the surgeons. I'm ready to know what I'm doing so I can kind of have my game plan and start getting geared up for that emotionally. That is where we are at, folks. And, you know, every day I wake up and I'm still me, but there are difficulties, but really I feel good. I'm already worried about what happens after, because right now everything is so cancer focused that when this is over, it's going to be like, well, I guess I just keep on keeping on now, and thanks, cancer, you were fun. And I mean, I had to come up with some other fun stuff to talk to you guys about. It is very weird, and it all happens so quickly. Once you have diagnosis, you're just thrown into it. I can already see that it's just kind of, you don't actually have a chance to process a lot of it. It's just not just surviving, but because you are coping with emotions, but it's, you're in go mode. That's what I call it. You know, it happens, go, 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 go. Next thing, and you know, and you just kind of take little bite by bite and just handle it as you go. So I think that after I have the surgery, and if let's just say everything goes great, you know, there's going to be this time period where I'm gonna have things on my chest that aren't my breasts anymore. These foreign objects are going to be there. My appearance is going to change. I'll have scars, I'll have weight gain, have hair loss, and, you know, other weird things can happen, like your fingernails and toenails can fall out. I mean, all kinds of things. I'm gonna have to, you almost just can't, it's definitely a lesson in not putting your sense of self-worth into your appearance, because I've always, luckily, thought fairly highly of myself, and that is serving me well right now, because I know that regardless of how I look or whether or not I have breasts, I'm still pretty dang cool. And I can't imagine for women who struggle with insecurities, I have insecurities, but who really struggle with insecurities, how it would feel, or if they don't have a supportive spouse, which I do, thank goodness. You know, he tells me often that he loves me and he's here for me, and I need to tell him if I need anything, and that he loves me whether or not, you know, he likes the bald head, and he's excited about the fake boobs. So, you know, I appreciate, I'm skipping ahead, but appreciate what you have, but don't get caught up in it too much, ladies. I know that some of you do. You are more than what you are made of externally. So I know that, because I know that all of you guys love me. And if I forget that, it doesn't take very long to be reminded, because someone comes in and does something really awesome for me and reminds me that this moment is fleeting, and, you know, I'll be okay. So, I'm getting a little teary, I don't really know why. So what I wanted to say was thank you. I know it's only Facebook, and I don't mean to focus on Facebook, but like, it has been an absolute tool for me to be able to reach you and to feel connected to people when I'm not well and I am stuck in a chair. And to those of you that are in my mom groups online and that I don't get to see very often anymore, but who I know follow me and Elizabeth and keep up with me on Facebook like so many of us do, that I see you and I see those likes and I see those comments and I appreciate you. And it is, I mean, every little like is just like a little dash of love, and I see it and I thank you for it. So dirty, so hard. I don't see my own family and my closest friends enough, let alone all you other people who I love, who have been a part of my life in the past or currently. And so I hope you know that if you donated or not, or if you're on Facebook, that any sort of reaching out or contact or interaction, all of it, whenever you're going through something like this, is appreciated. I may not remember every person who commented, but it's like that saying, you might not remember what somebody said, but you remember how they made you feel. Like, and so my feeling that I feel on a day-to-day basis is that I'm supported and loved. And it's because all of you have stepped up and made me feel that way. So I'm saving all of your cards that have been sent, and I'm going to try and do some artsy-fartsy collage or something when all this is over, or maybe before then, because I just can go and look at those and read the message, and I thought, if I ever forget for a second that I'm loved or that someone thinks about me, I could just go and look at this and be reminded that even if no one's in my home or on the phone with me, there are people all over the world that have me in their thoughts and prayers, and it means so much. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Okay? Bye.